Waistcoats and short knicker have been a thing in the adult world for some time now, and today we'll be recreating it in the children world. And if this is the first time of stopping by, do well to hit on the subscribe button. And to my old subscribers, I say thank you very much for all your support. And without wasting so much time, we are going to dive into the tutorial. And please do well to watch my ass, give me a thumbs up if you find value in this video, and share my videos with family and friends. So, I'm friends, sorry. Let's get into it. As you already know, for this waistcoat tutorial, I'll be using this fabric for it, and I will go ahead to mark a straight line. As you can see, the fabric is not really straight, so I'm going to mark a straight line to serve as our starting point. And I made use of two fabric, but you can make use of the same if that works for you. So for the back length, I have 16 inches. Then I'm adding 1 inch stitching allowance. So this 1 inch, I'm just going to divide it into two. Add half at the upper side and then half at the lower side. So what we are marking now is the back bodies, and is 16 inches length. This style is for a 9-year-old. So I'm just going to go ahead and mark all these lines across. Once I am done with this, I'm going to go onto the neckline, and for the width of the neckline, I am marking at 3 inches, and then for the depth, I am marking at 1 inch, or let's say 1.5 inches, but the half inch is going to be our stitching allowance. And then I'll go ahead and connect this as a round neck. Once I am done with this, I'm going to go ahead and mark my shoulder measurement divided by 2, and which is at 6.5 inches. I'm not going to be adding any stitching allowance because I don't want it to be off the shoulder. I want it to be a bit, maybe half inch inward to the shoulder. Then I went ahead to mark my armhole depth, which is at 7 inches or 8 inches. I can't even remember now, but my measurement I think is about 7 or 8 inches. But do what works for you, depending on how fitted you want it around the armhole or how loose you want it around the armhole. So once I am done with that, I'll go ahead and go down by 0.75 inches for my armhole, for my shoulder slope, sorry, and I connected the line. Then I'll go ahead and take my bust measurement divided by 4, which is at 8 inches. I'll make a mark there. Then I'm adding 1 inch stitch for ease, and then 1 inch stitching allowance. When you see most of the waistcoat, you will see that is waistcoat jacket. You will see that it is not fitted, like fitted. So it does have a bit of space, so that's why I added 1 inch for ease. Then I'll go ahead and use my cuff to connect my armhole. Once I am done with that, at the waistline or at the hemline, I'm going to add my waist measurement divided by 4. So this waist measurement is not our half length measurement. Remember, is like the waist around our that we put our trouser on. Then I'll connect this line all the way coming from the bust to the hem. And there's it for the back neckline, for the back bodies of this waistcoat jacket. If you haven't subscribed up to this moment, please take 1 minute to hit on the subscribe button and join the family. So once I am done cutting that out, you can see, just like I said, I'm using 2 fabric for the front one, and these fabrics are not folded. It's just placed on top of each other, so it's not folded like the back bodies. Then I'll bring in my back bodies and I'll go ahead and place it on top of it, just like you see me do. And then I have excess here. I'm supposed to have 2.5 inches, so I'm just adjusting to make sure that I have 2.5 inches for my button. Mine is going to be having button, but if you want yours to have zipper, please do it to add your zipper allowance, maybe 1 inch or 1.5 inches. And I remember that I didn't cut out the excess there at the hem side of the back bodies. So once I am done with that, for the front one, the front is longer than the back one, and the front is longer than the back one by 4 inches. For mine, 4 inches, and then I added half inch stitching allowance to it. That's the line I am marking across. You can as well make yours to be equal, but I just wanted it to be longer. Then I'm going to go ahead and measure the back bodies, taking away the stitching allowance and the stitching allowance there. Once I measure it, I'll divide this measurement into 2. I'll make a mark there, and then I'll extend that marking onto the front line that we marked. Then I'll go ahead and connect these 2 points. So I'll connect it this way to where I have my back bodies starting from, and then I'll connect it from here to where I have my stitching allowance, or where I have my main measurement, where my main measurement ended. Once I am done with that, you can see the way I connected the remaining lines in a straight form. So we're going to go ahead and do justice for the neckline. For the neck width is the same width for the back, and then for the back, for the neck depth, I'm going down by 6.5 inches. Then I'll go ahead and connect this point with a slanted line, just like you already know from the picture or from the waistcoat I showed earlier at the beginning of the video. So this is what we have once we are done with it, with our neckline. And then I'll go ahead and cut out the front bodies. You can see the way I'm cutting out my button area and also the seam allowance. Once I am done with that, I'll take it out and then cut out the front neckline. And I'll go ahead and cut out my lining pieces for all this. So by the time we are done with it, this is what we are going to be having once we fold in our button allowance. So I've gone ahead to cut out the lining pieces for all of them. As you know, I don't like using this lining for my fabric, for my styles. It's very difficult to work with, very light. Let me say it's very light to work with, but I'm going to be using it today. So I'll go ahead and place this. If you're doing this for adults, please while marking, make sure you add your dart so that you'll be able to, so that it will be able to fit you well. And if you're doing this for an adult, do well to hold your dart before you continue with this process. So I'll go ahead and stitch on the armhole, and then the neckline, and then the hem area by 1/2 inch. We are not stitching the 2 seam sides. Then for the front bodies of this waistcoat, I'll go ahead and stitch on. Remember, the lining is being placed on the front bodies of this waistcoat pattern. So once I place it at the front side of it, I'll go ahead and stitch on my arm, just like you see me pointing. Please do well to do that. This side is for my button. I'll stitch it the way you see me doing. Then the seam side will be left open. Then I'll stitch on the armhole. So where the places that are left open is just the shoulder and then the seam side. And I'll do the same thing for the other side. So this is it. After I was done, I'll go ahead and make notches where necessary, and then cut out any excesses I have around, and I'll turn it to the right side. And as we were doing this, the NEPA took their light, and then after a while it came back. So I'll go ahead and make notches where necessary on the front, at the front bodies as well, and then cut out all the excesses that will cause bulge at any area. Then I'll turn it to the right side. Once I am done with this, I'll go ahead and iron all my pieces. So this is it, guys. After I was done ironing the pieces, you can see it's now laying flat and well. The next thing we are going to do is to work on the shoulder. So for this, we are going to be doing front facing front, and then I'll bring in the other front bodies, and then I'll be doing front facing front as well. Once I am done with this, guys, I'll go ahead and open up my side from the lining, from the front bodies. I'll put my hand in and then I'm going to go ahead and turn this in, like bringing in all the shoulders into where I have my hand. Just look at the video, you understand what I am doing. Once you do this, you're going to be having lining to lining, fabric to fabric. If you do it the way you see me, I don't know if I explained it well, but when you look at the video, you will get what I am saying. So I'll go ahead and arrange this piece, and then I will go ahead and pin it down before going to my sewing machine to stitch it. I'll repeat the same process for the other side. So put your hand and then pull it out. So this is what we have, guys. After it was done, you can see how neat the shoulder area is. The next thing I'm going to be doing is we're going to work on the same side of this waistcoat. And for this, from one side, okay, for the button, I'm going to go ahead and fold in by 1 inch and stitch it down. Remember, we've already used 1/2 inch to turn this turn this inside out. So once we are done holding it down the button, we're going to arrange our pieces well. And then from one side of this, we are going to go ahead and pull these two pieces together. That, remember, you're holding the back and the front together. So you're going to pull it in from the other side. If I'm not explaining this well, please look at the video, you will understand it. So once I pull it in, making sure I have lining to lining, fabric to fabric, I'll pin my armhole seam line down, and then I'll pin around, or you can just sew and arrange as you do. You're going to sew all the way from one end round to the where you started from. So once I am done, from that place I put my hand, I pull it out. I'm going to go ahead and turn it out, that's bring it out again. And once you bring it out, you can see how neat it is, well tucked in. So we are going to go ahead and work on the other side, but it's not going to be the same process, because if we do, there's no way we are going to come out from. That's the only opening we have on this jacket. So what we are going to be doing is we are going to arrange our fabric, and then we open it up this way, making sure we have fabric to fabric, lining to lining. And I'll hold my seam line together, and then first of all pin it down so that it's kept in place. Then I'm going to go ahead and start stitching. You can pin around before stitching, or you can just stitch. So I'm going to go ahead and start stitching from 2 inches away from the main fabric, and then onto the fabric. Make sure that I'm stitching, now you stitch all the fabric, that the remaining opening will be on the lining. So I will keep turning and stitching till I'm not able to turn again, and then I will stop. Once I stop, see, this is what you have. So we are going to go ahead and pull it out. So once you pull it out, you can see that there is still opening there. So we are going to go ahead and top stitch this, or you can use your hemming gun, whatever works for you to do it. And that's basically all for this style. I hope you enjoy and find value in this video. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you do. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Share my videos to family and friends. Wash my hands and all the good stuff. And I'll see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching.